Hey everybody, so today I'm going to show you this scat. So this is kind of a common scat, and it was found over here laying on the ground, but I put it on this piece of bark so I could show it to you a little closer, and I'll probably break it apart to show you what's in it. But there's the size, so you can see it's not really big. Now, a couple of things to look at on this pellet. First of all, it's coated with this white coating over here. So see right here, this is coating the outside of the whole pellet, that white material. And that's pretty typical of your birds. Lizards have white material also, but theirs is not usually in a coating on the outside of the pellet. Theirs is usually in its own little pellet, a little packet that's off to the side. I'll show a picture of a lizard scat for comparison to this. But this is more typical of birds to have this coating on the outside. Now, the other thing to look at here is the contents and where it was found. So it was found near the Eel River in northwest California, and this contents of this scat is actually ants. And there's a bird that lives here, and it kind of lives all over the place. It's called the northern flicker. You may know it by the name red-shafted flicker or yellow-shafted flicker, but it is now called the northern flicker. This bird eats ants. It likes to get those carpenter ants that live inside of rotting wood. The carpenter ants tend to make their galleries in rotting wood, and as they do that, this bird likes to go in there and feed on them. The other thing that flickers do, and they do it out here a lot, because I've got harvester ants, and harvester ants are found nesting on the open on the ground. They make holes in the ground, and their nests are underground. So often I see the flickers on the ground, and what they're doing is they're poking holes with their probing or using their beak to grab the ants that are coming out of those holes. And a lot of those ant nests are in open fields. So they do two different things to get to ants, and around here I'd say the more common one is to get to the ants that are in the open fields. We do have carpenter ants, but those tend to be eaten by, around here anyway, a larger bird, the woodpecker, the pileated woodpecker. However, this scat is full of ants, and if you had a microscope or something, you could probably break it apart and see what type of ants they are. But let me just break it apart a little bit to show you the contents, and I'm just going to kind of squish it. It's not going to hold still. So inside there, you can see all the parts that came from ants. And when you break apart a flicker scat, that's what it's going to look like inside, because that's their diet. So you can see parts of different critters in there. If I had a better macro lens, I could probably zoom in better. Let's see if the camera will do it. Maybe. But anyway, you can tell the diet of this animal. And I just thought it was kind of cool to point this out and show you what a flicker scat looks like and how they're different from lizard scats. Because you will find both of them laying around on the ground. Now the camera isn't going to focus, of course. But when you do find flicker scats, look for the coating on the outside. The white uric material in birds coats the outside of the scat rather than being a pellet, a separate little pellet packet as in lizards. So lizards separate, birds is a coating, and this particular type of scat from the flicker is pretty common, and you will find it all over the place. So I hope you've enjoyed, and maybe you learned a little bit about the diet and habits of the northern flicker and what its scat looks like. So I will show you some tracks of a northern flicker. Maybe I'll post them in this video so you can see what they look like alongside the scat, so you have kind of a complete view of what the tracks and scat of a flicker look like. Hope you've enjoyed.